Good morning from Santorini.
Greetings.
So we've been here, this is our last part of our trip in Greece, and we've been here in Santorini for 5 days. It's probably, of all the places we've been so far, at the top of our bucket list because of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and I don't know, it's just so beautiful and iconic.
The white walls, the blue domes.
So on the first day, I didn't feel very well because we had to get up really early to make our flight, and so I had a bit of a migraine. So I think we took the first day pretty easy. Do you remember if we did anything that day?
I think we just walked around a little bit. We ate at the first restaurant we found, which actually had really good pasta and amazing views. I mean, pretty much everywhere here has an amazing view.
I was very thankful that the first place we stayed was called Finesse Suites, and they had a porter that met us right where our shuttle dropped us off, and he carried not just my backpack, but my checked luggage and Taffy's carry-on all at the same time.
Yeah, he took the big one and hiked it over his shoulder and then held the little one. And I mean, he was walking up and down stairs like...
Yeah, it wasn't our first place, I believe, was 4 flights of stairs
down. But he walked us to the check-in, which was a completely different direction, and then back up, across, and then down to our room. And yeah, we tipped him because he definitely deserved it.
Yeah. I think our first place was even better than we realized because it was on the far side of Ia, and it was positioned to face the sunset.
With no obstructions, no buildings in the way.
Which is really
awesome.
neat because the coastline here does curve multiple times. So you could be facing sunrise, you could be facing directly to the caldera, or you could be facing sunset. And so that first location was really nice because we had a hot tub outside that faced the sunset.
So that was nice to kind of sit in the hot tub, watch the sunset while the masses were huddled in the walkways, trying to get the best spot, the best viewing position.
All of the blogs say of top 10 things to do in Greece is watch the sunset in Ia. And so around 7 o'clock, everyone starts lining up and getting their positions for sunset, and so the pathways are completely crazy. So it was really nice for us to be off those pathways in our own private suite to be able to watch the sunset and not have to beat the crowds.
Yeah, so we watched the sunset twice from our room, and then when we moved rooms, we tried to go back and watch, and it was just, we decided it wasn't worth it.
Yeah. Then halfway through our stay, we switched to an Airbnb to save some money, and I really like this room too.
Yeah, the view is kind of a different position. It's facing more the caldera than the sunset, but it's got a really nice patio, really nice porch that we just sit on and just look out, and it's sunny and warm, and it's nice.
And the benefit to this location is it's less stairs. So it's really close to the main walkway, and that kind of saves your knees and legs a bit, but it will be noisier because you will hear the traffic, especially if people are bringing in luggage.
Or if the donkeys happen to be walking by, because our room was directly underneath the walking path.
Yeah, but it's very nice and centrally located. What's been your highlight of your time in Santorini?
I really liked the ending of the sunset cruise we did. That was really nice, but I also really enjoyed renting the car and going and visiting their ancient, it's kind of like their ancient version of Pompeii, an archaeological site called Akrotiri,
I think?
Akrotiri. And that was really neat to see a lot of the preserved buildings that still had preserved wood because of how the mud and the lava had flown through and just conserved everything.
It was really neat because the village of Akrotiri was known for trade because they found a lot of scales, and they also were industrious for cloth. But because they were such a wealthy village, a lot of the houses displayed artwork. So we also went to the archaeological museum, and we got to see all the paintings, or a lot of the paintings that had been displayed in these ancient homes. One thing that surprised me most about Akrotiri was that they had a sewage system.
Yeah, that was, I mean, because there was one house that's really preserved on this little triangle, courtyard, and they actually showed how their bathroom was set up and how their sewage ran and how it actually went down a gutter and into the ground.
Yeah, through a clay pipe.
Yeah, so that was actually really neat to see that this town from like 2000 BC had plumbing.
My favorite part was, I think, our photo shoot yesterday morning.
Oh, that was nice.
What was nice is we woke up at 5 to get ready, and we were out the door before 6. And Ia is just a very popular place, and we're even in the shoulder season. It's not prime season yet, but it can still be wall-to-wall people during the day.
Like today we have
Six cruise
six
ships.
cruise ships and a small yacht.
So it gets really crazy after 10 a.m. once the cruise ships come in. But because we were up by 6 a.m., the pathways were so clear.
Yeah, it was like night and day difference.
And it was just really nice to be able to walk and appreciate the buildings and look out at the views without the crowds and throngs of people. And plus our photographer really knows the area, and we went into areas that we hadn't explored yet.
Yeah.
And I think we really saw a neat side of Ia and the more villages and like the residential area of Ia. So I really enjoyed the photo shoot.
Yeah, but if you ever want photos in Santorini, definitely book Anna. She was phenomenal.
Yeah, and definitely try to do sunrise 6 so that you don't have a ton of people in your photos. Even if you're taking pictures yourself, get up early. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, and we were talking to a street vendor that we bought artwork from. It was really, really nice artwork. But he said that he leaves mid-June because he said after that it's wall-to-wall people, and the way that he was describing it sounded like Magic Kingdom after the fireworks.
Yeah.
Where you could like barely move and you just kind of
Which we
shuffle with the
experienced
crowd.
that too ourselves. I think that's a good description of what the pathways look like.
Yeah, and then you have a lot of people, which is crazy. Like during rush hour when all the people are here, people just stop in the middle of the walkway, blocking everyone so that they can take a photo or that they can check their text messages. I'm like, just
Yeah.
move to the
That is
side.
one downside. It is so beautiful here. So people want to take a lot of photos, but because of that, there are people who actually like stop in the middle of pathways and start forming lines just for photo opportunities. And once you've gotten your photos, you're kind of over that and you're ready to be able to walk the paths without the traffic.
But yeah, I would say if you come here and you want good photos, get up early in the morning, like 6 o'clock, and you will have the best views, especially if it's a sunny morning. It'll be amazing.
What's been your favorite food here in Ia? My favorite is lamb shank. After we had it once, I'm like, I want
which lamb it
every
was.
single day, at least once a day, because that's been my favorite food here in Greece.
I think my favorite lamb was both Kritikos and Metaximas when we had rented the car and we went kind of exploring the island. And they were both served completely different.
Yeah.
And they both tasted completely different, but they were there was, like Kritikos, I told the person, I was like, this is the best lamb we've had in all of Greece.
Yeah.
And like, I think we've had lamb every place that we've been.
But
and it was
everywhere we've
phenomenal.
been, it's been incredibly tender, flavorful, just so good. So definitely try the lamb here.
Yeah.
One thing that I wish we had tried that we didn't is traditional spinach pie.
We tried this morning, but they weren't serving it until 10.
And grilled octopus, because there was another couple we met and they said they had grilled octopus every day like we had lamb shanks, and that's one thing we just didn't stomach, weren't brave enough to try, but now I wish we did.
Yeah, and another meal that was surprisingly good was on our sunset cruise. They had a grill on the back of it and they grilled it right there. They did pork souvlaki and it was really tasty, and their tzatziki was awesome.
Any other standout memories here in Ia?
Oh man.
I feel like that's it. Our
it's-
photo shoot, our sunset cruise, just taking time in the morning
The
to
views
walk
have been-
around before the crowds.
Yeah, the views have been great.
Yeah,
Just
sunset.
and a lot of places have like rooftop terraces where you can sit and just enjoy the view while you eat.
All of the food here has been amazing. Variety of prices, mostly expensive if you're in Ia. If you want to save some money, try to go to the outskirts or in different towns.
Yeah.
But everything's been delicious.
And a overall Greece food tip is not every place is going to have the same style of serving you. But majority is they're going to leave you alone unless you need something. So don't feel bad flagging them down or asking for the bill, because they just want you to have a good time in a relaxing environment.
All right, well, next up is Paris.
Paris, France. Cheers.